I have two belt kits here made by the same manufacturer, Chamberlain, but there's only one of them that I would never put on a LiftMaster belt drive garage door opener. And in this video, I'm going to explain why, and at the same time provide you some solutions when replacing your belt rail assembly for your garage door opener made by LiftMaster. Let's party.
So we have this LiftMaster 2500D garage door opener that has a bad belt. The belt is starting to wear, starting to strip from here. So LiftMaster will usually replace these belts for free sometimes, but you have to be the original owner, so that is always a challenge. We're gonna go ahead and get this belt off and replace it with a new one. Now, one of the things that we completely want to be certain about is that this is an 8-foot door, so you do not want to come with a 7-foot belt. You want to come with an 8-foot belt, and at the same time, you do not want to come with a Chamberlain belt rail assembly or a belt. You want to go with a LiftMaster belt kit. We'll talk about that in a sec. Make sure we do not lose the pieces like I just did right now. We have that. So we can go ahead and take this part off. Very good. This is very important right here because this is the proper length for LiftMaster rail. Here we go. So here we have two genuine OEM parts for a LiftMaster belt rail assembly. And so it's important to understand that you have a 7-foot right here. It'll say it on the bag. And an 8-foot right here. So it's the 8-foot that we want for this 8-foot door. If you put a Chamberlain belt on this rail, it's not going to work. You need to make sure that you get a 8-foot LiftMaster belt kit for this door. Now, if this was a LiftMaster rail, we could definitely put it on a Chamberlain opener. The sprocket would work for it. But the fact that we have LiftMaster on LiftMaster, we need to go with genuine LiftMaster parts. And just for comparison, you can see these two clips right here are exactly the same. On the Chamberlain, this is a lot shorter, so that's why the Chamberlain doesn't work, and the Chamberlain does not have this master link. So you want to make sure that the new one has the exact same clip, or else you'd have to take this piece off and put it on the Chamberlain belt. It's a lot of hassle. This is the better way to go. Clip that on there. Clip that right there, so we're good. Now, one of the things that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to take off of the old belt that bolt that works with the spring nut. You want to be careful in doing that because you could lose this master link. It's okay, use it.
Now, naturally, when replacing your belt kit to your garage door opener, you want to make sure of a couple of things. Number one, you want to make sure the make and model of the garage door opener. In other words, is it a Chamberlain or a LiftMaster garage door opener? If you're looking at a LiftMaster garage door opener, you already know that you're going to need a pro grade or a pro belt kit for that LiftMaster opener. You see this little clip right here? This clip right here is specifically for the LiftMaster product. Now, in comparison, if I show you the Chamberlain, this Chamberlain obviously is a lot smaller, so we can put those together right there, and I don't know if the camera is showing it, but in essence, what you want to make sure is that if you have a LiftMaster belt rail assembly for your garage door opener, this is the better way to go. This clip right here is what you're going to need. But if you plan on buying a Chamberlain belt assembly, see, we have a difference there. These two are not the same size. This unfortunately will not fit easily on the trolley carriage to your belt garage door opener made by LiftMaster. So you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, doesn't Chamberlain also make LiftMaster? And yes, that is the case, but Chamberlain has made an extra special effort to differentiate their pro line and retail garage door openers. And that makes good business sense, because if you have a LiftMaster garage door opener, you already know that you need to go with a pro grade type part for your specific operator, or at the very least, look for a pro within the industry to be able to provide you those parts. But for those Chamberlain garage door openers, well, that's pretty much an easily accessible DIY part that you're gonna be able to find online or at your local retail store, and you'll be able to use that Chamberlain belt for those Chamberlain garage door openers. Now, I have been able to put a LiftMaster belt kit on a Chamberlain rail assembly, and it has worked perfectly fine, but I would never put the Chamberlain belt kit on the LiftMaster, just like I said. Now, there are some workarounds and some hacks. You could basically take off this piece to your older LiftMaster belt kit and then just simply swap it out for this part right here. But that's a lot of hassle, that's a lot of time and effort that I think is really not necessary. It's just best to go ahead and contact Chamberlain or LiftMaster directly and let them know, hey, I need the pro grade version. I do not need the retail version. It's gonna save you time and money. And if you care about your time, if you care about getting the job done right, then this is gonna be the better way to go. Now, one thing to take into consideration when replacing your belt kit for your LiftMaster or Chamberlain garage door opener are the limits. So on those older AC motors, they have actual physical limits that will have sensors or contacts, whether they're all the way forward or all the way back. So before replacing the belt, one of the things that I like to do is I like to make sure that those limits are at a starting point. I don't like to have them in the middle. In other words, what I will do is I'll take off the old belt, I'll go over to the wall button, I'll hit it once, I'll go over to the sensors, and then I trip them so that way the garage door opener tells me whether it's in the up position or the down position. If I know that it's going back up, I'll hear the clicking or the blinking from the garage door motor head. I know it's in the up position. From there, I hit the wall button once again, I make sure that the motor stops, and that AC motor is basically now at the starting point of the door being closed. Now for the DC openers, that's a little different. Now the DC openers are much different because they have digital limits. In other words, you don't have to look for a sensor or a contact to find out whether your door is in the down or up position. You would basically start from the down position. That's where I like, that's just basically my preference. And I would start to reprogram the garage door opener. Now, the pro tip that we provided you by hitting the wall button, tripping the sensors, making sure that the opener is in the up position, you can do that still on a DC opener so that you wouldn't have to worry about having to decide or figure out how to reprogram the limits to the garage door opener. Nevertheless, if you wanted to do that process over again, I think it would be wise, specifically so that way you have a fresh starting point. So it's just one of those things that, again, when replacing these belt kits, you want to make sure that the limits are properly set. You want to make sure that the force is properly set. And of course, make sure that your balance to your garage door is set. All of these things are vital to optimize the usage of these belt drive garage door openers and to make sure that you're putting the right belt for your system. Now, one of the things that we love to do on this channel is reach out to the community. Have you replaced your belt kit to your LiftMaster or Chamberlain garage door opener? Did you buy the Chamberlain version and found out that it was kind of imperfect, that you had to basically make some modifications, that it wasn't easy to put on that trolley carriage? Or did you have that old LiftMaster clip right there with the master link and simply take this off to put it on the Chamberlain? Curious to know. And of course, for my dealer contractors out there, have you done something like that? Have you came in or have you come to a job with a Chamberlain belt thinking you can put it on a LiftMaster rail assembly, finding that you couldn't? What was the workaround? Did you have to get an actual LiftMaster belt? Or did you go ahead and do the same pro hack or hack that we've talked about, changing out that master link to put it on the Chamberlain belt assembly? Please chime down below because we would love to hear your feedback. Of course, on this channel, we have a number of videos about belt drive garage door openers and repairs to belt drive garage door openers. So check out one of those videos right here. As always, I want to thank y'all for partying with me. Y'all stay safe.